doing all the things from expeditions, horseback riding, archery. There's lots of things to do. And then we have a day camp here in Milwaukee at our program center off of 24th and Cherry. That is almost like a 2-week camp that kids can sign up for. And so campers can actually sign up for day camp and LVC camp. It keeps them busy all summer. Our programs are free, which is the hugest thing that I like to push. You know, it's a really good quality programming for all of our families, all of our youth.
Fantastic. And where could people find more information at?
Yes. So you can register or find more information at peakinitiative.org.
Thank you so much to the both of you for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And this has been your Community Spotlight with Peak right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Yes, it has been one of those days. It has been one of those days where, well, I don't know. I've been thinking about Black History Month the entire day. I've been kicking around things that have bothered me about it. Kicking around things. Does anybody even really know how and why Black History Month has even gotten started? Why it's even here? Why we even go through all of this? What's the word I'm looking for? I was about to say nonsense, but it's not nonsense. But sometimes I think it's nonsense because of how we treat it. And I don't know if most people know how Black History Month got here. I don't think most people teach how and why Black History Month got here. We just have it. And I don't really understand exactly what it is that we, or even why we like it, or what's going on. I don't know. I wonder why we, what's the word I'm looking for? I got to find the right word. Why we celebrate it, why we treat it the way we do, why we allow other people to celebrate it. I don't know. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. I'm going to be talking about Jewish culture. I'm going to be talking about Valentine's Day. Because I figure if I'm going to light a fire, I may as well make it a bonfire, right? So what it really comes down to, and I guess I'll be brief. I'll be brief. Black History Month is about correction. I think Black History Month matters not just to black people, but to all Americans. It tells the full story of what happens in America, the full story of this nation. Its contradictions, some of the things Lincoln said, you know, if he could have kept slavery and free and brought the country together, he would have. But yet they put his face and name on the side of Mount Rushmore. About its courage, people standing up and fighting and marching with us for equal rights. And really, the country's capacity to actually grow. So we're talking from slavery to Reconstruction, from Jim Crow to civil rights, and Black Lives Matter movements. Black Americans have shaped this country, the laws, the economy, science, but I think more especially its moral direction. So when we remember Black history, we remember the unfinished work of democracy itself. You can't say you left England to be free unless all people in America are free. And so the struggles of the past were not endured in vain. Every protest, every court case, every act of resilience helped open doors that were once closed. Now, for you younger folks, the sacrifices of earlier generations built the opportunities you have right now in voting rights, education, business, and leadership. The struggling is what kept us accountable. It reminds us that progress requires effort, not just waiting for other people to do things, and that the future, what we have today, becomes better, like tomorrow, when we learn from the past and commit to doing better today. So the only way tomorrow, the only way 5 years is better is if you do things today so that it'll be great. The churches, the business, the progress we've built as black people in America is limited only by our vision and our persistence. So it's ironic. It's 2026. After 4 centuries of struggle, we force our children to only go to public schools where other people limit what we learn and what we can do in life. But that's for another day. I don't know if you realize this, but 100 years ago in 1926, historian Carter G. Woodson launched Negro History Week to ensure that the achievements, the intellect, and the contributions to this country by black Americans. Now think about this. It's less than how many years? When we were enslaved, from 1865 to 1926. Think about that. It's not a lot of years. In 1926, we formally recognized black Americans in a country that at the time ignored them. So, why was it placed in February? Anybody know? That's to honor the 2 central figures to the struggle for freedom. Ironically, Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Their birthdays are in February. We honor Black History Month in February. So now 50 years later, in 1976, or should I say after 1926, 50 years later in 1976, during the U.S. bicentennial, Negro History Week expanded into Black History Month. And so today, Black History reveals how social change happens, of movements that led by ordinary people like you and me, and Tory Lowe, reshaped public policy and the national conscience. Organizing, litigation, journalism, violence, and some nonviolent protests, Black Americans expanded the civil rights protections that we know right now that benefit people with disabilities, and so many more. Now, the gains achieved were not isolated victories, though. You got to think about it. They strengthen American democracy as a whole. As Black America gets stronger, all of America gets stronger. You have to remember, Black history helps guide the present, where we are today, and build the future. It challenges the myths we have to put up with, like Black people have tails. It confronts injustice, like the killing of Black men by police officers, and inspires leadership of organizations and corporations and nonprofits rooted in courage and responsibility. We have to study the pain and the progress. We just can't make everything nice. Not everything. We can't avoid pain. We can't make everywhere a safe space. We have to study the pain and we have to study the progress. We would never know good if we didn't have bad. And so Americans gain perspective based on challenges. The endurance of those who came before us reminds us setbacks don't define the story. It's about commitment. It's about unity and moral clarity. So when you think about Black History Month and you honor the legacy, you have to ensure that sacrifices of the past continue to shape a more just and hopeful future. And of course, if that doesn't work, you just build your own.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Milwaukee business owners, this is your moment. Every Friday at 8 a.m., call in to 101.7 The Truth for What the Business Is. Tell us what your business is, where you're located, and one thing you've learned along the way. What the Business is powered by We Energies, delivering the energy that powers local business. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth. Fridays at 8 a.m. on 101.7 The Truth.
Injured at work, unable to work due to health problems, or denied veteran benefits you're entitled to? Last year, Tayback Law returned over $73 million in wrongfully denied VA and Social Security benefits to people in our communities. Tayback Law celebrates Black History Month by bringing its message to 101.7 The Truth. The team is thrilled to see Milwaukee achieve this exciting new outlet for speaking truth to power. And Tayback Law is always ready to fight for you. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Hey, join me on Fridays during my show, all during Black History Month. It's not about the questions. It's about culture and facts they don't teach you and stories you hear, like we've been talking about earlier. We'll test what you know and teach you something along the way. So we did it last week. We're going to do it this Friday. We're going to do it next Friday. Then we got the Truth Community Awards that you need to sign up for. It's our second annual. Make sure you come hang out. And the fourth week, I'm going to do it on Tuesday. All right? I'm going to do it on Tuesday. So just make sure you listen. We're going to tell you, it's coming tomorrow. It's coming this. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. So, you can line up and answer questions. We'll give you a Truth prize pack, and you'll get to, wait a minute. What? Wait, what? 833-212-1017 is the number. Speaking of Black History Month, I got a question. What needs to change in Black history to say, or just Black, what needs to change for Black people in America for us to say it's different? Because I've lived through a lot of change, but nothing's really changed for us. Nothing's really. What needs to change? 833-212-1017. If you got the one thing that needs to change in America for us to go, hey, this is our country, right? And I think eventually I'll share what I think the one thing that needs to change. But I don't know. I don't know. Let me check the talk and text line. 833-212-1017 is the number in the YouTube chat. Hey, what's up, SE? She was first today. Ooh, that's 2 in a row. Hey, Kwanda, how are you? Study hall is here. It's in full effect. Who's Uptown Lex? I don't know who that is. Willie, what's going on? Hey to you and the missus. Sir Chance, hey, what's up? Captain Blaines, I don't know who that is either. Dimitri, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Not really a city girl. At least she here early. You get off work early? You got off work early? Okay. That one guy, hey, what's going on? Somebody say, happy Black History Month, everybody. You know you like 11 days short. You know what I'm saying? Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Y'all funny. Wow. You see? What's this? That one guy said, one more day, Dr. Ken, for my call ban to end. What'd he do? Said a bad word on the air? Okay. Well, you're not going to get in now because you said Truth Station should sell a Dr. Ken bobblehead. Well, first of all, my head's too big, so I guess it would make a great bobblehead. So don't be hitting the ding. See how people treat you. Limited edition. Man, get out of here. 833-212-1017 is the number. Dimitri, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's the one thing Black folk need to have in America in order for us to say we made
it? We need to have pride. We need to have knowledge of self.
Yeah, but we got that already.
Pride.
We got that already.
Well, I mean, to an extent. I mean, if you're talking about knowledge of self, but as far as pride, a lot of it.
But you can only speak for you. You can only speak for you, though. What needs to change for Black America to say America is different? It's for us.
The fact that Black history is sanitized it should no longer be fantasy. You had a very good discussion. You did a very good speech on Black History yesterday about how it was sanitized, how it became more politically correct, softened up.
Right.
That's definitely, in my view, as far as like slavery. I give you an example. It used to be called slavery, chattel slavery to be exact. Now it's called human trafficking, something like that.
Right.
So we need to go back to when it was excuse me. We had the kahunas to actually talk about Black history and just go way back to like ancient Kemet and ancient Egypt. When Eastern Airlines were still around, they did a real good ad on Black history on some names I didn't even know. I personally feel that we need to go back to those days. That's what's just woefully lacking.
But now we're going backwards. Like, what can we do to move forward? Like, for you to feel comfortable, watch this. The same way white people feel comfortable going where you want to go, shop where you want to go, live where you want to live, do what you want to do, and not worry about whether or not you're going to get followed in the store, whether or not somebody's going to think you're going to rob them when you walk into your car in the parking lot, all that. How do we make that go away?
You're making me rack my brain. I'm scratching my head. That's a very good question.
I've been scratching my head for a long time. Long time.
That's a very... I really don't think that blacks are going to stop getting followed in the store or stop getting harassed by the police. It's always going to be that element.
So what would you need in order for that to stop? What would you need to do in order for that one thing to stop? Let's just pick that one thing.
In order for it to stop, we're just going to have to come up with our own law enforcement agency. I mean, something's going to have to get done because obviously what's going on now or what we were trying to do is not working right now. Maybe we have to have our own. Maybe we have to build our own enterprise or have our own separate society. Land mass, animals, have some sort of economic, social, and political base.
Okay.
You had black people saying that, and maybe it's true. I don't know, but it makes you think. And when you ask me that, I had to really think and put on my thinking cap as far as that. But that would be my answer to that.
All right.
That's that issue.
All right. Thank you much. I appreciate it, Dimitri.
Hey, anytime.
All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. The conversation is about what needs to change for black Americans to say it's different. It's different. Like we've arrived. And I don't mean in comparison to white people. That's not what I mean. Al is right, and a couple of other people are right in their belief that we spend an inordinate amount of time trying to be like white people instead of being ourselves. And I think that's one of the things we lost. In the 1970s and even in the early 80s, there is absolutely no way you would get castigated. You would get hollered at. Like, what's wrong with you? I mean, we tolerate straightening your hair, but that was about as white as you could possibly get. They were not putting up with that. Removing your culture. And God forbid you move to a suburb, the world came to an end. What's wrong with you? So, I don't know. I have my ideas, but I want to know about you. What does the black community really need to do? What has to happen for us to say America is different? Because I don't care whether or not somebody loves me. I don't care whether or not somebody likes me. I don't care whether or not you support my store. I don't care whether or not you like, what has to happen? Because there's so many things. There's education, there's jobs, there's all the negatives we talk about with black people, and we always stay away from all the things that are positive, that we've done, that we've overcome. And I don't understand why we've made it farther and have grown more with a foot on our neck and a boot to the gut than we do with all the freedoms that we have today. And some people will tell you, well, no, we're not free. Well, that's in your mind. In my mind, I'm free. And I think because of that, I don't want to let those negative things continue to occur. We've got to change what we do. Does that mean becoming insular? Or does that mean becoming more like white people, more like white culture? We have an administration in Washington, D.C. with Donald Trump that is now hell-bent on making everybody act, look, live, read, think, teach whiteness. We talk about whitewash. Now we're actually seeing whitewash. And I think the tipping point is not education, because we can teach our kids what we need for them to know at home, all things being equal. It comes down to the museum. If we get rid of that museum, I'm marching. I'm on a bus to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Nope, that's a lie. Tonight. Because there's some things that are sacrosanct. Our museums and the church. You mess with those two, the fight is on. It's on. 833-212-1017 is the number. Millicent said we need to change when education becomes equal. It is education. Somebody said generational wealth. James said we have to get on our own. I was born in 1976. Growing up on the north side, we were owners, not the Arabs. We have to own. Own what? Own what? Own what? James added, we have to center our thoughts on the results and not the difficulties. That's what personal helped me grow as a black ninja man. Okay. All right. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, I think black people could have had even more, but this thing with black people, they always want to play the bigger person because we have always been a welcoming spirit. But sometimes when you deal with certain people like the people we're dealing with, sometimes you're going to have to hurt their feelings. And so what? You should not care. And then if we're talking about the neighborhoods, we as black people can change the neighborhoods, but we only get loud when it comes to certain people. And then when it comes to them other people that's acting all crazy right now.
Well, wait a minute. Al, just say what it is. Don't say these people and those people. Who is it?
Well, I think right now it's the white people that got black people on a certain mind frame. See, because when it comes to them dealing with each other, they don't care what you think, they don't care what you say, they don't care how you feel, but they see that whiteness of the skin and they think they seen Jesus or something. I think personally the reason why we're dealing with all this right now is from all that inbreeding from these white folks. And they got this mental illness. So now they're trying to take it out on everybody else, but they're not taking care of their household. That's why their daughters running up as runaways, junkies, and crackheads.
But why aren't we taking care of what we need to take care of? Why do we care about what white people do?
Well, it's because, the reason why we ain't taking care of because we lack the free will to handle it. They want the benefits, but they don't want to do the work. And then when they open the door to get stepped on, they don't want to step over their whole body, including the grave, and taking the rock from the maggot food and the protein and use it as a fertilizer for their yard. That's the problem, because we are the only race. The only race, no matter what you're doing, they're going to think of you. But for some of our people, they don't want the responsibility. So they're going to sit there and let people walk over them. And when they feel it's okay to get on the wagon wheel, just give me a little piece. Just give me a chance. No, I don't need you to give me a chance because I know I can outdo you and outperform you.
So do you think many black people are being bought off?
I think that too. I think a lot of them are being bought off because they're in the same zip code with an alley, a street, and ain't nothing changed for them, including their tax bracket. It's just wanting to belong. And I don't want to belong where I got to give you my blood because I'm happy by myself with peace and serenity and tranquility.
All right. Well, thank you much.
But if you give them a space on that red wagon wheel, they'll sit on the back if they have to ride in the back, just like the back of the bus. Have a good day.
833-212-1017 is the number. Julius, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, good afternoon, Dr. Ken.
Good afternoon.
I haven't talked to you in a while, but, I always have an interesting show. For me, I think, like when you spoke about the museum, the Black Holocaust Museum, which is one of the stalwarts in our community. I remember meeting Dr. James Cameron when he was on 3rd Street. He didn't even have a museum. He just had a bookstore. And me and my wife, we used to go in there and we used to purchase books from him. And then he wrote the book. I also got that. It's called The Time of Terror. I don't know if you read that, but he even signed it for me. I treasure the book, and some of the things in that book, it relates to what's going on with us currently now. I know people say history is something that you read about and then forget. I mean, like I think you mentioned a while back about having a book club and people talking about some of the books, what's interesting. I'm a book collector. I've been, collecting books, reading, and, just trying to get my knowledge. And I think what we need to do is black people, for us, like I'm an American, man. I'm an American, and I'm black.
Right.
What you said earlier, it's like, I know we got a stigma that, we have to emulate white society. Some of the stuff is forced upon us, willingly and unwillingly, even, the religion, the cultures, the norms, even the way, when they disparage us, we disparage us. They call us niggers, we call ourselves niggers, and, instead of looking at all of what amazes me is out of the 400 years that we've been here, we still accomplish. We are still accomplishing, goals and aspirations and desires in the midst of whatever that the European society throwed at us. We still persevere, and this is ingenuity is the mother of invention. We invented, one of the Tory or what, it's talking about the inventions of black folks. We contributed a lot to this society and to this country. And I think a lot of black people don't realize, and I'm not just talking about inventions. I'm talking about, like when you talk about scholastics and economics, education, we contribute a lot to this society. And we need to just acknowledge that and move forward with ourselves. I know me, myself, I didn't learn about black history. I just like reading about the history of not just, don't limit myself just black history, but if you read and study the history of this country, we are a part of the history. And if you isolate yourself to just black history and not open yourself to other forms of history, whether it be the British, the French, the Spanish, they all play a part in this country. the foreman of our country. And I think that if we look at ourselves for who we are, then we can find out, not forgetting where we came from, though. And if we can accept who we are, that's all we need to do and move forward. And, and I think, like, in our community in Milwaukee, I mean, I grew up here in Milwaukee in the 60s and 70s, yes, what you stated earlier. I mean, there were communities, there were neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Now, we still live in neighborhoods and communities. We're on block, but it's not a neighborhood. People don't even know each other, the people next door, the people across the street, across the alley. So I think we need to get back in touch with ourselves and sort of like I agree with one of the other calls, we need to create more things for ourselves. And it doesn't matter that white people don't want to be involved in nothing and try to homogenize it. Just do stuff for ourselves, and then and whatever results from that, as long as it's positive, as long as it's things that'll make us move forward and be prosperous, I think that'll help us out.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it, Julius.
Have a good day.
All right. Take care. Keep listening. 833-212-1017 is the number. We'll continue this conversation about whether or not we know what it is black people need to do in order for America to be accepting. I don't know. What needs to change in black America? What needs to change for us to feel like it's different? Because I'm at wit's end. And now with 101.7 The Truth traffic, here's Adam Roberts.
Southbound on 894, just past Beloit Road, we have a crash impacting the right lane. Backups now starting to stretch all the way north towards Lincoln, causing hefty delays as you're working your way south from the zoo towards the Hale this afternoon. Also going to be a slow go still on 43, anywhere southbound from Keefe all the way through the Marquette towards the high-rise bridge, and westbound on 94 through the construction zone from 27th Street all the way through towards Mitchell Boulevard will be slow, as will 894 heading west as you work your way out of the Mitchell over towards Loomis. And checking the Storm Team forecast, mostly clear, a low of 21 tonight, partly sunny and 34 on Thursday. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 101.7 The Truth.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Sometimes justice looks different to me. Do you want them in jail for murdering Corey Stingley? Yes, you do. Do you want them to go to trial for what they did and go through that process? Hey, but at the end of the day, the men that took Corey Stingley's life something happened to where they have to accept the fact that they did that and that they have to be labeled a murderer for a certain length of time and when it was nothing, I think that was a huge thing that happened when you had to climb mountains to get to this point. 13 years?
The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth. Bringing all the smoke to you.
I love what you're doing, and this radio station is just like what it's called. It's the truth.
Download the new 101.7 The Truth app now. Milwaukee Black Talk. 101.7 The Truth.
Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Milwaukee Bucks are in Orlando again for a rematch of Monday's showdown where the Bucks lost 118-99. Tonight's game starts at 6 p.m. with one more game before All-Star break tomorrow night in OKC. In college basketball, Badger basketball forced OT against 8th-ranked Illinois, ultimately winning the game 92-90 in a huge upset. Badgers are 17-7 on the year and 6th in the Big Ten. UW-Milwaukee won their game against the Indy Jaguars 92-88. UWM sits at 10-17 on the year. Marquette lost a close one last night against Villanova 77-74.
James will bring it up right side. 6 seconds left, down 3. James trying to get it. The Stevens does. They've got a second left. He'll throw up a shot blocked. Taken away by Villanova, and that's the end of the game.
Their next matchup is against Xavier on Saturday at 2 p.m. This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Be my word.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. LT said, I'm late, but I'm here, and I will be at the Truth Awards next week. Hey, we got like 9 days left. Y'all better hurry up. Mark your calendar. Friday, February 20th, second annual Truth Community Awards presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, celebrating individuals making an actual difference in our community. Tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. Go to 1017thetruth.com and buy your tickets. Truth Community Awards are presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffel's Cousin Subs, and Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Our hosts are going to be Homer Blow and Bailey Cope. You get to see them live and in person. That's from 5:30 till 8. That's Venue 3. You got to have a ticket if you want to get in. So you got to pay so you won't miss the best community awards event of 2026. Yes, tickets are left. There are tickets. So make sure you sign up. Come on in. Come on in, Truth Nation. 833-212-1017 is the number. Andrea, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. How are you this afternoon?
I'm okay. A little tired today. How are you, sir?
Same. Yep.
Yeah. So in regards to your question, I think Black people need justice. We need justice. So,
but what does that look like?
It looks like. Okay, so the descendants of the Tulsa massacre, they need to get what they lost, the survivors.
Okay.
And how about all the other massacres, the massacres that occurred? If they're not alive, their descendants need to get what they lost in current dollars. We need MPS, institutions like MPS, to actually educate students and not be designed to fail, in my opinion, is what it is today. It's designed to fail. We need justice, and politically, we need justice economically. We need justice in all areas.
Well, nobody's going to give you. Justice. Nobody's going to. Well, I don't know. Nobody's going to give you justice. So then, what do you do to offset that? Because keep asking other people to give you something that they have that they hold to be good for them. They're not going to share it with you. So how do we overcome that?
Well, we have to we have to get educated, and we have to combine. We have to unite politically.
And what?
And to demand these things.
That's not going to work because we voted Democrat for decades and that we haven't gotten anything. And then when we say we don't get anything, they say they blame Republicans. Like, I don't understand that. So we keep coming back to the same thing. Like, what is
I didn't say Democrat.
That's what I said.
I didn't say Democrat.
I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Okay. But what do you mean?
We spend billions. We spend billions of dollars a year. Use that money. We do have some power. So use the billions of dollars that we spend every year. Use that and to for businesses and for leaders that represent us.
Okay.
And it might not look Democrat because to me, Democrat and Republican, it's the same thing.
Yeah, okay.
They have the same donors.
Okay.
They have the same political agenda. One is just, as Dr. Sarah Kendzior said, the Republicans will kill you and the Democrats will watch you die. So we need to unite and when we come together, when there's enough pressure applied, things do change.
Do you think all white people are together?
I think that they outnumber us, and they have united under a common interest.
But that's not what I'm asking. Do you think white people are together?
I don't know what you mean by together.
Exactly. So we need to define these things instead of, I understand, but sometimes it comes off as a platitude of we need better homes, right? But nobody is telling us this is what a better home looks like because everybody has this thing where I don't want to tell anybody else what's good and what's bad and what's right and what's wrong. And I think that was the downfall of us. We stopped telling younger people, don't do that. Stop. It's bad for you. We just let people be their own. Just like we tell people, that's your truth. Truth doesn't differ from person to person, but we've given people this false sense of I'm always right and I don't want to be around anything that they deem negative or any struggle, and so they just I don't know, I guess they gave up.
But there are some commonalities that unite people, including across race, ethnicity, and political spectrums. People want affordable health care. People want safe places to live.
But those are all political things. Those are all political things.
Well, I don't know if it's political. How is that political? I'm sick and I can afford to see the doctor. How is that political? These are just things that unite people. These are things that most people.
Mm-hmm. Because the only way to change it is to change laws. And so we've equated health care to a right when in fact it's a business. And until you change the business,
our Senator Ron Johnson said it's a privilege, but it isn't.
It is. No, it most certainly is. When you can't walk in and get health care, it's a privilege. When people that can pay for it get it and get better, and those that can't don't, it's a privilege.
And again, when people unite, when there's backlash, and
what does that look like?
Are angry.
But that's what I'm trying to find out from you, Andrea. When you say words like unite, what is that? Like, what do we do to unite?
For example, like what's going on. Well, for example, in Minneapolis, the people they're not tolerating that, and they're fighting back. They're fighting back.
But most of those people in Minneapolis are professional protesters. What can we do?
I don't know. But they sound really.
What can we do?
I think number one, become better educated. Know what's going on, where the trends are really happening. Our lives are becoming worse.
Okay.
It's becoming harder.
Okay.
And look at who's behind that. First, you have to and figure out where you to get good information, because it's not the mainstream media. It's not. So first, number one, becoming educated.
Okay.
And looking towards our past, what our forefathers did, how they fought. And a lot of that was economically. They didn't take the bus. We have to put our, being willing to sacrifice for the greater good.
There it is.
That means losing some of our comforts. I think that a lot of the problem that we see for the generation apart from my parents is we have comfort. We've got drive-through and smartphones, and we got comfort, and that has made us kind of lazy, deaf, and blind.
That when we struggle saying what something is lazy.
Yeah, lazy. Just give people comfort. a little bit, crumbs, and you don't have to worry about them fighting.
But I think you should earn comfort.
Well, it's important for us not to be distracted. We can't be distracted by shiny objects. Yeah. We have to demand these and use our money. We can put places out of business. When enough people, even this past year, when enough people, there's backlash, they retreated. But you have to know what the problems are. You have to identify the problem. Know how to fight the problem. You have to understand the games that they will use. COINTEL, whatever. You have to understand all those things.
All right.
And be unified.
So when a revolution starts, I'm calling Andrea.
I'm not. No.
Come on now. No. You got to step up now. Come on now.
Gladly. But there will be consequences, and there will be pain. I mean, look at how unions were started. People had their heads cracked open, and people are not going to be willing to give up our power. That's why when black people were prospering and earned money, that's what oftentimes we were ran out. We lost our homes, we lost our properties. Because they can't tolerate that.
All right. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the time.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th for the second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by Homer Blow and Bailey Coleman, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017thetruth.awards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Office, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at HAWS Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact HAWS of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a bright, focused foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. One, remind you, the award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence in the most monumental moments in our history all month long. We're honoring the voices and the stories and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in to my Dr. Ken's Black History Trivia on Fridays, spotlighting powerful facts and movements you need to know. And Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, the perspectives, and the lived experiences that define who we are. Tune in all month As 1017 The Truth lifts up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history, because Black history isn't just history, it's happening every day. 1017 The Truth's celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by two of my favorite people, Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. 833-212-1017 is the number. Lanita, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good afternoon, Dr. Ken.
Good afternoon.
So Andrea actually said it at the end. I was going to say we need to be uncomfortable. And I don't think people are really looking for real solutions because it's not that hard to get to. It just takes that uncomfort to make you do something different. So, and people don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want the luxuries to leave. They don't want to have to struggle. So, and sometimes that's what it takes. Well, you said it at the end. That's the only thing I caught.
Well, do you think they see it in other people and that's what they want? And so part of the complaint is that people that have then, quote unquote, arrived and have the money and a house and all that stuff, and they stop fighting, and they expect younger people to fight. And I think this is just I think we're having an issue now because younger people have stopped fighting, and then things are starting to fall apart, and you have to keep pressure on, or you lose it.
That's very true. They haven't taught the young people how to continue to fight for what they want.
But they don't want to. But they don't want to. They'd rather protest about Minneapolis than protest about shootings in the city.
That's very true and unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because what's happening in your neighborhood should be more important to you than what's happening somewhere else. But I said it in the chat earlier that education begins at home. So if you are in a household where it's all about what we can do and what we can give, and once we get there, we're good. But you have to help somebody else understand that it's important to grow, and it's important to find out what can we do differently to help the next person. So many of the solutions, like the housing situation, it is not that difficult. But the people in power and the people who can assist in getting funds, I'm not saying they will have to pay for anything, but they can assist in structuring something to get funds to help housing be more affordable. It's not that difficult. But people are, like you said, things are so political now, and it shouldn't be that way. But Andrea said it best. People just don't want to be uncomfortable.
All right. Well, thank you much, Lita. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a great day.
All right. Yeah, our topic today is just what are we going to do in order to make it better for Black America and America? 833-212-1017 is the number. We'll continue your calls and Top 5 at 5 up next.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. All month long, we're honoring the voices, the stories, and the achievements that have shaped our past, empowered our present, and continue to inspire our future. Tune in for Dr. Ken's Trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know, and Tori Lowe's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Tune in all month long as 1017 The Truth lifts up the legacy, the brilliance, and the power of Black history. Because Black history isn't just history, it's happening every day. 1017 The Truth's celebration of Black History Month is proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law. Celebrating Black excellence, celebrating our history. All month long on 1017 The Truth.
served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Join the movement. Listen to the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, the locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 2 minutes after the hour, 36 degrees in Milwaukee. And it's going to be a high of 22. Feels like 28 degrees because the wind is from the west, northwest at about 10 miles an hour. 833-212-1017 is the number. Ann said, try not to generalize, but I think we can learn from Jewish history. Never forget, but move forward, persevere, hold strong to tradition and progress, support the common good, faith, hope, and charity. And also added, white folk are not united, very diverse. Okay. All right. I'm scared to get in the YouTube chat. Y'all been blowing it up. Hey, what's up, Lucretia? Crystal said the rejection of capitalism in New York City. I don't know. And healthcare, getting healthcare should be a right. Under capitalism, it's a privilege. That is shameful. No, it's not. And here's why. We need to understand that everything that you could pay for directly, you control. If you don't pay for it directly, you don't control it. It's kind of simple. Company pays, you pay, co-pay, all that, but the insurance company pays for your health care. So they decide what you get. Don't blame it on capital. I get and I understand what you're saying, and to a point, you're true, but understand those things that we don't pay. If you pay for food directly, if you don't like the food, you don't buy it. If they don't make money, they change or they do something different. Not, watch this, not healthcare. It's a closed system. You can only sell it in certain states. What you sell in, so they made it expensive on purpose, and the only people that get paid are insurance companies and medical doctors. It's a closed system. If we paid directly for health care, it's cheaper. They won't do that because they give too much money to legislators and politicians to not change the law. So I'm in agreement, and it's capitalism, but capitalism in and of itself is not bad. And watch this. That's not capitalism. What they do is not capitalism. So understand what pure capitalism is versus socialism has never, ever worked anywhere that they did it on the face of the earth. So learn your history. Why does life have to be a struggle? Why do some people have to be uncomfortable? Because that is where you grow. You don't grow when everything's great because you don't have to. You don't grow because everything is wonderful because you don't have to. It's only under struggle do you fight. You can't develop good arms and a good upper body by laying on your back, soaking in the sun. You have to exercise. Exercise is a struggle. That is what builds tenacity, perseverance, and resilience. And if you don't have that, and I think we have a generation that doesn't have that, they're going to be in for a world of hurt. A world of hurt. And this is experience talking. This isn't like, oh, I don't know what you do. I fought my way to where I am today. I won't give it up for anybody. But I still have the intestinal fortitude that if I lose everything today, though I'm significantly older, I can rebuild it significantly faster. Why? Because of the struggles I've had. Because of the things I've been able to. Crystal, you could disagree. I don't need fight if the system is working for people. That's the problem. You shouldn't be putting all your eggs in the system. Systems that other people control will never work for you. Why? Because you don't control the system. Everybody's out for their own self-interest. That's everybody. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian. Don't matter if you're a human being, you're out for your own, you're altruistic to a point. But for the most part, you're out for yourself. And that's okay as long as it doesn't harm anybody else. We need to work through that. And that's an individual thing but let me go. Good argument, Crystal. Appreciate it. Marty, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good afternoon, Dr. Kemp.
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Hey, I really, really appreciated your beginning soliloquy at the top of the show.
Okay.
I wish I could write faster. I wasn't able to copy it verbatim. But you spoke. Could you tell me the three things that you spoke of? You spoke of unity and central idea of purpose. And there was a third one that I forgot, but it was excellent. So, and you're asking the question, what needs to change for us? Well, your soliloquy and your callers, Andrea and the following caller, were right on. They hit it on the head and they're following down a path that needs to be followed, I believe.
Which is what?
To get to the answer. The answer is we're not organized. Everybody else in society has a political organization.
But organized
and you said
to
that
do
it's
what?
Politics and
organized to do what?
And organized to be a political animal in this, as you said earlier.
To do what?
In this political climate.
Who cares
that we
about
live
the
in.
political climate today? Political climates come and go. We've had these issues for 400 years. Like, at what point do we do? What needs to change for Black Americans to say
Let me turn it around. You're not going to allow me to answer.
No, I'm allowing you to answer.
Let me turn it around. Why?
Sure.
No, I haven't answered anything yet.
No, I said go ahead.
Okay,
Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down.
Well, it's hard to talk when you're cutting people off every time, and you do it to your other callers as well. It's hard to understand their flow of thought.
Yes, it is. And your point is?
Thank you. My point is, why do not politicians come to the north side of Milwaukee?
Because we have our own politicians. Because we have our own politicians.
And is that an effective way? I don't see the positive results in our present way of doing things with our present politicians. They get lost in the quagmire of politics, of money, of Republican, Democrat, Madison versus Milwaukee. All of the morass of society does not even think about the north side of Milwaukee. There is nobody down at the MMAC thinking about the north side of Milwaukee. There's nobody up in Madison thinking about the north side of Milwaukee until it's voting day. Think about the 7 candidates for the Democratic governorship on the Democratic side.
Okay.
What is the first thing coming out of their mouths? The most publicized thing that's happened since the race began 3 months ago or so.
Okay.
They talk about how much money they raised. What a ridiculous, ridiculous argument. Has nothing to do with anything. What difference does it make if you raise $400,000 or $300,000? Doesn't matter. Elon Musk has $300 million.
Billion.
He can pop in anywhere in the country he wants to.
Okay.
So we have to find a different way to fight.
Well, here's the problem.
Out of money.
Marty, here's the problem.
Go ahead.
Your lens is a political lens. Other people have different lenses. They have financial lenses, they have family lenses, they have religious lenses. So it's always going to be different because everybody's going to be fighting from their particular point of view. We fought the political fight already. We got Black people that are in places of power and all that. We've moved beyond that. The one arena that we've never, ever taken control of and we've never been able to have our own of is economic. Because every time we start to talk about it, people try to steer us back to politics. And it's not about politics. It's about how much money you have. Every single thing and every single problem and every single issue we've had can be fixed with money, not politics. To the point where I can use that same money to give to the politician to fix it.
I disagree.
Okay.
Disagree 100% because what you're doing is you're jumping into their pool. You are playing on their field. You are doing exactly, not you, you know what I'm saying. We are doing exactly what the powered brokers in the Democratic Party and the powered, as Andrea said, they're both the same. Republican, Democrats, two sides of the same coin.
But what are we doing?
There is no side for the north side of Milwaukee.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And why? And you asked for an answer. You asked for solutions. It is a simple solution. It is contained within the state statutes, and this goes back to Robert La Follette back in the early 1900s, 1901 to 1906. He was governor, and they started changing the laws because prior to that, the railroad people and the manufacturers and commerce, MMAC, all of those people controlled the state of Wisconsin. And why is Bob LaFollette's statue in Statuary Hall in the Capitol? Because he was the leader of doing the impossible. He created an opportunity for the regular man and woman to be involved. He allowed the farmer to get back control of his production. He allowed the regular people to, be part of the political organization. And they did that through the vote. And we have an opportunity right now to recreate what Bob LaFollette envisioned back in the day. And you can get John Gerda on or somebody that knows this better than I. But we have an opportunity right now to shake up not just Milwaukee, not just Wisconsin, not just America. We could change the system in Wisconsin by garnering 30,000 signatures.
So let me ask you a question, Marty.
I hope Kathy's listening, because this is not a recall. This is a political movement.
So let me ask you a question.
And we do it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, please.
How does that help black people? Because every time we do that, whites end up in charge. Whites end up with all the money. Whites end up with all the contracts. And whites end up in all the positions. So how's that help?
Well, number one, Dr. Ken, we've never done it before.
Okay. How old are you, Marty?
Same as you.
We've come together in the 70s, and we changed America, flipped it. Civil Rights Act, flipped America. Jobs.
Have you looked at the north side of Milwaukee?
I'm not talking about the north side of Milwaukee right now. I'm talking about America.
I am.
So, the north side of Milwaukee.
You think America's been changed since the 70s for the black man?
Do you think politics has changed?
Absolutely.
Do you think politics is going to change the north side of Milwaukee?
Yes.
And I completely, watch this, I'm going to use your words. I completely and totally 100% disagree. You know why? Because I've seen every single change, that happened behind money.
Well, Dr. Ken, if you don't even know what I'm talking about with regard to the statutes and what the possibilities are, how can you make a judgment?
I never said that I didn't know what you were talking about just because I disagree with you. You seem to think that because you say something and you repeat something that I'm supposed to just go, oh, yeah, well, he must be right. I say, so what? I disagree.
Well, no. Okay, well, let's talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk about it because you can't sit there and tell me that you automatically think I don't understand the statutes because I disagree with you.
I did not say that.
You literally just said that.
What I said. I did not say that,
You literally
Dr.
just
Ken,
said
please.
that, Marty. Stop.
I did not say that.
You don't understand the statute. You most certainly said that.
I did not say you don't understand. I said you don't know which statute I'm referring to.
You told me. Like, dude. Okay. All right, Marty. Have a good day, Marty. Call me back tomorrow.
I was trying to be helpful, man.
Okay. Thank you. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Now, I let Marty have his piece. I'll let him say what he wanted to say, but at some point, when you try to trash somebody without come on. Yeah. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Going once, going twice. All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's been a full day. I told you it was going to be a different day, didn't I? I told you. 833-212-1017 is the number. And here's the thing. I'll say this funny. Have I been discriminatory in my cutting off people? Or have I been consistent? I mean, if I've been consistent, I've consistently cut everybody off. I've consistently talked over people as they talk over me. And I told people how I do it, why I do it, all that. At least they understand. And I appreciate everyone that called in. I appreciate it. Now, that was going to be an excuse, and those are not cool. 833-212-1017 is the number before I do my top 5 at 5 because Zach got me way behind. I got to blame somebody because I can't blame myself because I talk too much. 35 degrees. The low tonight again is 22. Feels like 28 degrees. 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been talking about basically trying to figure out like what needs to change for Black America for it to be different. And so I guess I'm going to just switch up my poll question for the day. I'm going to just throw a poll in the YouTube chat. My poll question for the day is, what's the best Black strategy? Based on what you heard today, is it integration or self-determination? Integration or self-determination? Because at some point, we're going to have to pick one and follow it because it's getting rough out here.
Number 5.
Nancy Guthrie update from Fox6Now.com, day 11. We're here. Today marks the 11th day in the search for Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC Today show anchor Savannah Guthrie. This afternoon, a black glove was reportedly found alongside a road about 1.5 miles from Nancy's home. At about 12 today, the Pima County Sheriff's Department says that they received nearly 18,000 calls since February 1st regarding the Nancy Guthrie investigation, with more than 4,000 coming in the last 24 hours. They said several hundred detectives and agents are assigned to this case, and they'll continue to see increased law enforcement activity throughout Pima County as the investigation expands. I don't know how to say this, but one of the things that disturbs me greatly, is if her mother wasn't Savannah Guthrie, would we be hearing about this? I mean, really, would we be hearing about this? I'm not saying she's not important, and every life is precious. I get that. But this has taken on the same thing it took on when other white females have been missing and other white females have said / done things, and all of a sudden we're like on this thing of, oh my God, we got to do this. And we got all this stuff. You know, if we did this for like half the missing people in America, we'd be much better than before.
I think part of it is because her daughter was the lady that interviewed a lot of the Epstein victims.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it has a lot of the smoke that it does.
Okay. Guess you shouldn't do that. But wouldn't you think, this is just me, if I made that much money, part of my money would be invested so that the money I make from that put security at my house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's just me. But I don't know. That's just weird. Well, so much for protesting.
Number 4.
Suspect is arrested over social media threats targeting Bayview High School walkout from CBS 58. Milwaukee police say a suspect was arrested yesterday, for a social media threat over a student-organized walkout at Bayview High School. Milwaukee Public Schools asked organizers to cancel the walkout after the threat was reported, saying in the statement the threat made a reference to gun violence directed at the walkout itself, not at the school or the school building, and MPD is working with other law enforcement agencies to bring in the person who allegedly made the threat. The statement goes on to say that the suspect is not a student, and MPS says that they continue to support the rights of students to share their views. So you support the right for students to walk out of class while they're supposed to be in class. That makes no sense to me. Student organizers proceeded with the walkout, with Milwaukee police monitoring the participants. Well, maybe they can get some help for that.
Number 3.
MPS, speaking of MPS from Fox6Now.com, they just got a $5 million grant to support school-based mental health services for students. Maybe they can get some help at Bayview. I'm just saying. The U.S. Department of Education awarded the 4-year grant. MPS says it will strengthen and expand the district's pipeline of school psychologists through partnerships with Alverno College and UW-Madison. All the schools you have here in Milwaukee, MPS, hey, that's stupid. You got all these places around here with psychology programs, all these places around here that teach psychology, and you're going to go to Alverno and University of Wisconsin-Madison? Go to Alverno and UWM. You're going to go there? You just lost my support.
Number 2.
So, do black people play hockey? I guess we do. But I'm excited about one thing. From blacknews.com, Layla Edwards made history in the 2026 Winter Olympics as the first black woman to compete for Team USA in Olympic ice hockey. The 22-year-old debuted in Milano Cortina, that's in Italy, scored her first Olympic point, and helped the U.S. open the tournament with a 5-1 win over Czechia. The Cleveland Heights, Ohio native Edwards wasted no time making her presence felt. She picked up her first point on the opening goal, scored by alternative captain Alex Carpenter, marking a strong start to her Olympic journey. Her milestones places her among a small group of black athletes who have represented their countries in Olympic hockey, while players like Blake Bolden and Edwards' older sister, Shayla, took part in USA hockey development programs. None were previously selected to compete on the senior women's Olympic team. She said, I take a lot of pride in it, and I'm going to embrace it because representation matters, she told Olympics. No matter how uncomfortable it can be, it's for the next generation. And I applaud her. Speaking of the next generation at MPS, I guess our former superintendent left us another pile of, well, anyway.
Number 1.
From WISN.com, well, you heard about it today and yesterday. Recent audits of MPS finances found the district overspent its budget by $46 million, and now district administration is considering immediate cuts to get back in the black. As news of the budget deficit spread, community members expressed their concern and priorities during a meeting on Tuesday. Angela Harris, an MPS teacher, said, what concerns me is how much this deficit is going to be managed. Ingrid Walker Henry, president of the MTEA, Milwaukee Teachers Education Association, said cuts must be separate from classrooms. Does she ever think about anything? Does she ever think about the kids? Ever? Like, ever? Don't cut the classrooms because we got to have teachers. We want the teachers so they can pay union dues. So we, like, stop. At some point, it's got to be for the kids. And all of this, anyway. A financial reporting scandal in 2024 led the state to withhold funds from MPS until district administrators got the books in order. It also resulted in a series of audits that revealed the $46 million in overspending. Superintendent Brenda Casalias told the committee last night, we are sharing this information now proactively because we all deserve to know as we build our next budget. The committee investigating the budget lapse did not blame any specific staff member or department. Instead, officials cited declining enrollment and insufficient state funding as contributing factors. You got to also look at the last administration. Well, MPS plans to address the deficit by paying $23 million this year and another $23 million next school year. The school is implementing measures, the district, MPS, is implementing measures such as freezing hiring for non-classroom positions, reviewing contracts for potential cuts, studying transportation costs, and making cuts in central service staffing, including the superintendent's administration. The district is not cutting teachers or student programs at this time, but community concerns persist. A special ed teacher said, you say this budget is a reflection of your values, so where does lack of transparency about financial mismanagement fall into your values? And for me, that comment makes no sense because if I didn't create it, like, why are you blaming me? I didn't create this mess. She wasn't even here when this mess started. She didn't create that budget. She didn't create that deficit, but now she's got to fix it. So I don't know if you can beat her up and her administration up when she didn't do it. Now, what's going to happen is there's got to be some conversation about the quality of the cuts and what exactly is disappearing. Because we've been here before. That's how we lost driver's ed. That's how we lost all those things, shop in all the schools and all those things that, prepared kids to actually, win. 833-212-1017 is the number. In the YouTube chat, what's the best strategy for black people today? Integration or self-determination? It's your call. Sir Chan said, bruh, it's your show. Do whatever you like. Been doing it. L. Dawson said, consistent, but I believe you're just trying to get to the root of the statements being made. Yes, I am. Sir Chan said, I honestly believe it could be something in-house going on. Crystal said, I'm suspicious of Trump's apparent cooperation in helping in finding Nancy Guthrie. Well, you just don't like Trump. And say that. And it's okay. But can we fix here? Part of what Marty said is right. Can we actually fix here? Can we? You ain't got to look at me like that. I asked him, have we taken a break yet? He was like, no. But vote. What's the best strategy for us? It is time now to figure out what are we going to do for our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, because we can't leave them this nonsense. And Trump has nothing to do with the north side of Milwaukee and how it looks. It has nothing to do with how your house and how you let your kids run wild and how you don't take care of business. Let me put it like this. Anytime you see divorced parents with multiple kids and their kids are doing better than kids that are in two-parent households, something wrong.
This Black History Month, 1017 The Truth, opening up the mic to Milwaukee's youth, young boys and girls sharing what Black history means to them in their own words. I'll be reading and sharing your submissions with the 1017 The Truth audience all month long. Our voices, our stories. If you know a young person with something to say, share their message on social media, tag @ToryLow_King or 1017 The Truth. Let's amplify their stories together.
Ready to move? Find your next home with Odom Investments and Property Management. Beautiful rentals, great locations, and professional service. All the way Odom Way. Call 855-ODOM-WAY. That's 855-ODOM-WAY. Or 855-636-6929. Your home is waiting.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Do you hear that? And that? And that? Those are the sounds of a healthy and vibrant community. And to this United Way volunteer, nothing sounds better. They're the sounds of children being given greater chances to succeed in school. The sounds of neighbors receiving the support needed to overcome challenges, both big and small. They're the sounds of families gaining access to quality health care and nutritious food for their tables. And they're the sounds of members of our community who've benefited from United Way's financial education programs. See, wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. People working together to respond and growing the good for everyone. United is the way. So join us by getting involved or giving back. Learn more at unitedway.org.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. Chris will say, you brought it up. It starts with a spark, and at Milwaukee College Prep, that spark turns into something extraordinary from age 3 through 8th grade. MCP nurtures brilliance, builds scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of students face economic hardship, but that does not define them because at MCP, every child's potential shines. With 4 campuses and 1 powerful mission, college and beyond, Milwaukee College Prep is free, high-performing, and open to all Milwaukee families. Visit MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, that's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, to enroll or get involved. Remember, Milwaukee College Prep, where Milwaukee's future begins to shine. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oh, well, may as well keep it going. Southside Frank, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, sir. It's been a minute.
How are you?
Couldn't be better. Having the greatest day ever. Listen, so I listened to your top 5. So as far as the woman hockey player in that, I think integrate, you know, she could be what Tiger Woods was for golf, you know?
In what way?
Well, I believe wholeheartedly, and it's not a racist viewpoint, but the blacks are better at almost all sports.
The blacks?
It just is what it is.
The blacks or just black people?
Just blacks. Come on.
I'm just giving you
from running. You know, the runners, that girl, that really cute girl that wins the marathons in the Olympics. She's cute. Shot. But yeah, I mean, every sport you guys get involved in, you end up taking it over. There's no disputing that. Anyway, that's just the one. The teacher, I think it was a teacher over there at Bayview, the Red Cats.
Okay.
I think a teacher made a phone call to get them kids back in the building.
But we don't know who made it. We
don't
know who made it. They arrested somebody. Let's let it work out. Let's not come up with assumptions. Come on.
Can I have fun?
No, you can't.
Never let me talk. Can I have fun?
You can't have fun when it comes to putting information that's incorrect. No.
I'm not putting information. I'm speculating.
Don't speculate.
Play along.
Don't speculate.
But that's all we can do until we get the truth.
Well, then let's not talk about it then.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
These obscure programs that the school, the MPS, is attempting to, you know, that's where the money gets buried. We should stick to the basics. Reading, math, arithmetic. You know, the driver's ed, maybe teaching kids how to manage their money, that's fine. But I think a lot of these programs, that's where that $46 million, that's a lot. That's a lot of bread. I think these side programs and stuff is just a way for them to funnel. There's a lot of crooked people in them schools. There has to be. There's no other explanation. That's too much money disappearing. It's like the mob. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay. Somebody got that money in their pocket, and it's not the teachers, or is it? Who knows? That part, I can't get my head around that. You know, Milwaukee's not that big of a city, and we have oversight. We have these institutions and these guardrails, quote unquote, in place. How does that happen? I've been struggling with that for a week now. I worked on the Home Bridge, and it was like a $150 million project, and they were so tight with what was this, and documentation. It bewilders me.
So what you're saying
I wanted to get that point across.
Okay, but what you're saying is in reference to 3% of their budget, they've got about a 1.2 billion, if not more or less, around in there. You're talking about 3% of their budget that they're going to have to figure out how to fix. So
that we know of.
Well, that's what the audit came up with. That's what it is. You can't assume information that you don't have and then act on it. That makes no sense.
So the people that are putting together these audits are the same people that are screwing up?
No, they're not.
No?
They're outside auditors.
Okay.
And they come in and they say, hey, you overspent last year because of all the shenanigans by the former superintendent, and so now you're 46 in the hole, which is why the superintendent was saying, the prior superintendent was saying, now that we got the $250 million, we need another one. Well, why didn't we know this before we voted yes? Because if I vote yes to 250, then I know we need 400. Let's just vote the 400 and then be done. But those are the types of issues that they were having, and now it's all coming to light. Now there's transparency. So people coming in talking about they want to blame somebody and talk about transparency with the person that didn't do it, it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
Will they ever be able to pin the tail on who did it? Can it be framed like that?
Well, they already know who did it. See, part of it is this. The $46 million isn't just $46 million. We're talking salaries, benefits, programs. It's myriad things. So if you cut it, the only way you can cut it is like you cut at home. You got to stop doing some stuff. So we're going to cut $23 million this year, and they're going to cut another $23 million next year, and that's it. And that's what you got to do.
That makes sense.
Or have another referendum. Have another referendum and pay more money.
All right, let me say one more thing real quick. I came up on the south side. I went through Milwaukee Public Schools. It didn't do me much good. The teachers were not much for me. It didn't seem like they were really there for it, but that's just my personal experience.
Okay.
I hope they get their ship straight. I hope they do, because we need it to happen. You know, these kids need to go to a school, and they need to come out right.
Okay.
I'll leave it on that.
All right. Thank you much. I appreciate it. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Crystal said, I don't understand how a child can walk through the school doors in the morning and sit down in class all day and not learn how to read. What's going on in the classroom? I think they're learning in the classroom. I think what we've stopped doing is the enrichment piece. You have to go home and practice reading. You have to go home and read and do your homework and all those things. Well, we've made it so easy because we don't expect children to be able to do it at home, so we try to do everything in school. You do your homework at school now, so you don't go home and do homework. You do all that. So a lot of it has changed over time. It's a problem. It's a problem. Parents need to go up to schools, and if your kids aren't learning how to read, you need to start complaining and make sure your kid learns how to read. You need to be at home with your kid and reading with them and doing all sorts of things. But we have parents that can't do that. We have parents that can't do math and science and all that. So then how do we set up the kid for success? It's tough. If teachers just did their job and literally taught every kid how to read, it's your job. Whether that Johnny can or cannot, get him as high as possible. But for some reason, they just won't do it. And Crystal, agree with you 100%. I don't understand how a kid can walk through the school doors in the morning, I'm quoting Crystal, and sit down in class all day and not learn how to read. That has to be the teacher's fault. And now with our final traffic check of the day, here's Adam Roberts.
Plenty of volume still this hour on 43, heading south from Keefe all the way through the Marquette, past the high-rise bridge and down towards Beecher. Northbound 43, starting around the high-rise, moving through the Marquette, will be slow all the way up to Locust. Westbound 94 from 16th Street through the stadium past the construction zone towards Mitchell Boulevard will be tight. It'll also be a slow go on 94 East in two spots between the Zoo and the Marquette. One near 84th Street over to 68th, and then also east out of the stadium towards 27th. And checking the Storm Team forecast, mostly clear tonight, a low of 21 degrees, 34 and partly sunny on Thursday. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 101.7 The Truth.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Halls of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Hey y'all, it's 1017 The Truth's Rhea Riley for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments, including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Truth Nation, it's time once again to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community at the 2nd Annual Truth Community Awards, happening Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 inside the 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee. This award show will honor the unsung heroes who show up, give back, and make a positive impact in our community every single day. We are rolling out the red carpet and showing love to those who truly deserve it. Buy your tickets now by visiting 1017thetruthAwards.com. Tickets are just $20, which includes free food and exclusive Truth giveaways. Join the 1017 The Truth team for an unforgettable night of entertainment, inspiration, and community pride at the 2nd Annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 20th at Venue 3 in Milwaukee. The Truth Community Awards are presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Milwaukee College Prep, Cousin Subs, Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options, be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Milwaukee Bucks are in Orlando again for a rematch of Monday's showdown where the Bucks lost 118-99. Tonight's game starts at 6 p.m. with one more game before All-Star break tomorrow night in OKC. In college basketball, Badger basketball forced OT against 8th-ranked Illinois, ultimately winning the game 92-90 in a huge upset. Badgers are 17-7 on the year and 6th in the Big Ten. UW-Milwaukee won their game against the Indy Jaguars 92-88. UWM sits at 10-17 on the year. Marquette lost a close one last night against Villanova 77-74.
James will bring it up right side. 6 seconds left, down 3. James trying to get it. The Stevens does. They've got a second left. He'll throw up a shot, blocked, taken away by Villanova, and that's the end of the game.
Their next matchup is against Xavier on Saturday at 2 p.m. This Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, and I'm a member of Educators Credit Union, where your money is powered by purpose. Educators Credit Union community advocates, driven to uplift the community with donations to local organizations such as the Milwaukee Tool Library and sponsorships of events, large and small, that take place in our backyard. Make the switch, just like I did. Go to ECU.com, that's Educators Credit Union, ECU.com. Insured by NCUA, membership eligibility is required. So we've been talking about what we want black people to do, like how we gonna get America to be what it is. And in actual statements, I really just asked the question of what needs to change for black America to say it's different. And that's something we've been struggling with All of us, each and every one of us. And I don't think we need to be on one accord about it. We just need to know what those few things are. And so I then asked the question, what's the best strategy for black people? Integration or self-determination? And out of the votes we have in the YouTube chat, 100% said self-determination. But that means that you're going to have to be accountable for you, your family, what you do, how you live. And that's going to be tough. Brian said kids need to see their parents reading, engaging their minds. Unfortunately, the scrolling epidemic is one I think generations will face. Ann said support what you want to support, worry about you and yours to begin with. No need to spend money on new community center on 76 in Silver Spring. Isn't there still a community center near 64th in Silver Spring, near West Lawn? I used to go there. Efforts should be made to find a buyer for empty grocery stores across West Lawn as soon as possible. What about the alderman, the county? But instead of worrying about what somebody else is doing, we have to do it. And that's the only way it's going to work.
On Sunday afternoon, the Milwaukee Panthers return home to face in-state rival UW Green Bay Phoenix at the UWM Panther Arena for the Battle of I-43.
Loop a pass, baseline right, Franklin, in on Cotton, reverse layup. Oh, that was pretty. Elam, wrap a pass, left corner, Jackson, trigger three, and he hits it.
Scott Warris has the coverage starting at 1:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 2 o'clock. City Conference season is coming down to the wire, and we have a battle of two of the top teams in the City Conference Gold Division. Tune in Thursday night as the Milwaukee Hamilton Wildcats go on the road and look to knock off the top team in the City Conference, the Milwaukee Juneau Pioneers. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
I was just thinking, going through, Julius mentioned we need the book club back. Do we need the book club back? Hit me in the YouTube chat. We'll have to start that back on Thursdays in March. Start doing the book club. And I'll come up with the books, put them in the chat. So I think that'll be great. Well, thank you for today, for everybody, for all your comments and all your pushing and shoving and hollering and all that stuff. So tomorrow, I'll be talking about the Jewish community. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Want to say thank you for being here. Love you. God bless you. Take care. And 100% still say the best strategy for Black America is self-determination. I see you, Quanda. It's coming. Book club. Beginning the first Thursday in March. God bless. Take care. Thank you, DJ Brother Z. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all. God bless. Be safe. I'm out.
Be quiet.